last time I have to record this. Hi, I'm Kayla. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you to the couple of new followers who keep trickling in. I appreciate you. This video, I am planning to talk about all of my anticipated reads, like my immediate anticipated reads from my shelves mostly. Let's get into it. Okay, so we've got categories for you today. For once, I've got categories, and so I will be checking out what those are. But the first category is my literary fiction-ish category, and so from there I have Hamnet, and I'm excited for this one. This is won the Women's Prize for fiction, so I guess it's more women's fiction, but like women's literary fiction. And it's about it's based off of the Shakespeare's son who passed away, who inspired Hamlet. And there is a movie out right now that is based off of this, and so I actually am prioritizing reading this and one other one that I'll get to later because of the fact that it'll allow me to go watch the movie. So that's number one. Number two in this lit women's fiction section is Stillborn, and the reason I'm excited about Stillborn is...
Excuse me.
Okay.
We're checking sad burgers here.
There's no sad burger. If you could see what's going on in the background here with these little kids. So I'm excited also to read Stillborn. This is still in the women's fiction, literary fiction category. And you'll remember probably, because I talked about it a lot, but I talked about After the Winter which is also by Guadalupe Natal, and I'm just really, really excited to read Stillborn. I feel like January would be a great time to read it, and we're coming up on that time. As I'm filming, it's like the 20th, I think. So we're just right around the corner. Yeah. So I'm excited for this one. I have no idea what it's about. I don't want to read what it's about because I want to be surprised. Okay, for fantasy, I have for you, in the fantasy category, A Storm of Swords. And I think I talked about this once or twice, but I tend to read A Game of Thrones most voraciously in the winter months. And so I think that's when I read the first two. I think I read the first two this time last year, if I'm not mistaken. And that's when maybe epic fantasy, maybe that's what it is. That's when this kind of fantasy seems to better situate itself in my brain. It's when I enjoy it most. And you guys, if you live in the Houston area or in a hot area where it doesn't get cold until December, January, you can understand why these things might be more fun to read during those times of year. At least that's how it is for me. So I'm really excited to get into this, probably in January as well. And if I don't read it physically, I'll read it via audio. Usually I do hybrid with Game of Thrones. I think I read the second one. No, I read the first one on paper, and then the second one I did hybrid. So I kind of like that experience. We'll see what happens. Okay, next fantasy one is one that I haven't talked about very much, but Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. And I'm excited for this. I think that who's talked about this the most? Probably Olivia Reads a Latte, maybe Carrie can read, but I have it on my Kindle and I read it here and there last year, and it's been fun, so I'm gonna get into it. What's next? Okay, so this next one, I just need you guys to not judge me for, because I know I've talked about it a lot, but it's fantasy time, and I believe that I can finally finish Legendborn. And by finish, I mean start, because what did I ever get to? Page 50, something like that. I think I can finish it. I have the trilogy here. It's at my fingertips. I just need to do it. I think I even have an ebook from somewhere in my email somewhere. So I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I'm at least anticipating it. So at least I'm excited for it to happen. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's fantasy. I also am excited about a couple of memoirs. These are the only 2 books that I'm talking about that are not actually on my shelves, but they still count. Milo, hey, what are you doing?
You didn't pick the book right.
Okay, so the memoir that I'm excited about, there are 2 of them. These are the only 2 books that I don't actually own, but I will shortly, or at least like via like Everend or something, because typically with memoir, I listen to them because usually the writers record them themselves. So the first one I'm excited about is, I think it's called Only Say Good Things. Let me see.
What's it?
Hand me my phone.
Okay.
Okay, so it's called Only Say Good Things, and it's by Crystal Hefner, yes, by Hugh Hefner's widow. And after listening to Crystal on that cult podcast that I love so much called, I think it's called just like Trust Me, I just have to hear more of her story, and I'm really, really excited to hear it in her own words. And I was kind of young-ish. No, I wasn't. She's my same age. She's a year younger than me. I was gonna say I was young during this, so I don't really know. No, I wasn't young. I just didn't know anything that was going on. And so I'm excited to know now what was going on. The other memoir that I'm excited about is Semi Well Adjusted, and that's Alison Stoner's memoir about her life just like in the industry, in Disney, in just life, just living life. And I'm really, really excited because what podcast was she on? I think she was on Tea Time with Raven and Miranda, I think she was on that one. That's Raven Simone's podcast. No, really, it's Miranda's, her wife's podcast, and Raven's on it. People always say that, so I don't want to like mess her up and like annoy her, because she knows me, and I'm just joking. But Alison Stoner is somebody who, anybody who is around my age, like I'm 32, you grew up with Alison Stoner. You watched her do all of the things. You watched her dance in every movie that she was in, every show she was in. And so, but the interesting thing is she was never really the lead, and she kind of gets into why that happened. And I'm really just excited to just see and understand her perspective and what it was like growing up in an industry that didn't really super duper like her, not really. Everybody's joining me today. If I could just get through this. So that's memoir. And now we have, what are we doing? Classics? There's only one classic I really want to read right now, and that classic is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And the reason I'm excited for Wuthering Heights, again, is because there's a movie coming out. I think it comes out Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken, which is like ironic because this is a love story, but it's like kind of a haunting, like in figurative and literal ways. So I'm excited for that one. I'm excited to see what happens in it at the very least. And then my last one is poetry. And for poetry, this one I've already talked about, but I'm reading You Are Here, which is a collection that Ada Limon put together. She's a former poet laureate. Is she the former or the current poet laureate? I feel like she's the former, but I can't remember. Anyways, You Are Here, Poetry in the Natural World. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of, I don't know why I can't think of her name all of a sudden. Gosh, what's that poet's name who does a lot of nature stuff? I can't remember, but I am excited to see a bunch of names I do recognize, such as Kevin Young, who is the current editor for the poetry section of the New Yorker. I'm excited to see Kazim Ali, who I took a workshop with, and I think he's just really cool. Tracy Brimhall, Jericho Brown, who else? Oh, Gabrielle Calvocresi, who I butchered her name a few videos ago if you don't remember. But yeah, there are just a lot of names here that I'm excited to see because they're just so good. They're just so good. And so super excited to get into that. And then, so now I want to talk to you about what I'm reading now. And I'm only reading 2 things actively in this moment. or 3 things, I guess. I'm finishing up Something of Silver Flames, that final ACOTAR book, and that's been fun. I'm listening to it via audio. I'm not picking up a book for that one at all. It's like, it's literally just vibes. The other books that I'm reading right now, I was in a poetry workshop last week, and we were talking about, one of the things that came up was Antigone, because somebody's poem was based off of Antigone and her whole thing that she had going on. And if you haven't read Antigone, it's really, really interesting. And so I just took another look at Antigone. I'm reading that right now, or I'm finishing reading that right now. I think the last time I read it was probably in college, but it's really accessible and you should definitely read it. Yeah, you should read it. The other book that I'm starting today, but I think I'm going to inhale, is From Blood and Ash. And I think I was just in the mood to read ACOTAR style books, and so I just like Googled what's like ACOTAR. So I Googled what's like ACOTAR, and this came up, and I don't know, I was just in the mood for fantasy and angst and yearning, and this came up. And I think I've seen the book girlies reading this one too, like people I follow, if I'm not mistaken. And so I'm excited to have another little fantasy moment. But yeah, so that's it. Let me see if I can pick all of these guys. I think I can pick them all up. It's more about like if I can make it a stick. Okay. Alright. Okay. Boop. Okay. Okay, is it upside down? They're all upside down, so we're just gonna hold them like that. We're gonna boop. Oh, we can't forget about Sophocles. Do you guys like my plant? I am so much pathos now. Isn't she cute? She lives there. I just pulled the cart that's normally by the window over. Yeah, so thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me and talking books. Let's not talk about what's going on back there. I don't have enough bookcases. What else? Happy holidays, and thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in the next one.
Can you tell them I'm here?
Sure. Milo wants everybody to know that he is sitting behind the scenes, like literally right behind you as I record this. He's sitting very quietly and very still because he's sitting on the couch where this is resting. So, right? Very quietly, very still. Thumbs up. Cool.
Is it a book?